Hi, hi everybody. Welcome to Mindset versus Motivation. I am your host, Carla. And on today's video, we will be going into chapter 3 of The Emotionally Absent Mother. Now, if you're new to this channel, the reason why I created this channel is to help women become more resilient, strengthen their mindset, be able to face the world and handle any obstacle that comes in their path by simply changing their mindset, getting rid of that old mindset and replacing it with a new and improved version, okay, that will be able to handle anything that comes their way, okay? So on today's video, this is the chapter we will be going over. And last video, I went over the many faces of the good mother, okay, which was going on over the characteristics of a good mother, okay? Not just a mother who just feels like just because I put a roof over your head, then that's good. Just because I gave you something to eat, then that's enough. Just because I gave you a bed to lay in, that's all. No, you have more things that you need than just a roof and a meal to make you a successful, fully functional adult, healthy adult, okay? So I feel as though once the matriarch, which is our grandmothers, okay, in either side, paternal or maternal, grandmothers are no longer around, that's when we as a family, as families, started to fade away. People became busy because the matriarch, the grandmother, was the one who would have functions, invite family over, because they knew the importance of being a mother. They knew the importance of being the one in the family that everyone can lean on, come to, and have a door wide open, a welcoming environment for the family. The good grandmothers, okay? But like mothers and the grandmothers can have their flaws as well. So excuse me, I'm a little tired, but I'll get my energy back on point soon, y'all. So I said, you know what, I was a little tired today, but I said the show must go on, okay? Because it's important. Before you can strengthen your mindset, before you can become more confident, before you can start to change your life, you have to deal with the root of the problem. And a lot of our problems are childhood trauma. Things we experienced as a child that made us who we are today as an adult. So let me go. Okay, now like I was mentioning, attachment. Now chapter 3. And I don't read the whole entire chapter. I pull out bits and pieces. And then after it, I pull cards, tarot cards, that'll give you an idea of what you should do next as far as your life or how you go about it. I ask Spirit to give me the information, give me the cards to pull, to relay the information to you as to what you should do next, okay? So, attachment, our first foundation. Our first interpersonal task in life is to bond with our primary caregiver, in most cases our mother. This is essential to our survival, since as babies we are totally dependent on someone to meet our basic needs. The term attachment is most often used when referring to this bond, and there has been a great deal of research in attachment behaviors and styles. Attachments has a significant impact on our brain development, mental health, and future relationships. Although a child's relationship with his or her mother is not the only contributor to these things, it is the original and, in most cases, the primary influence. Fortunately, we can also form secure attachments with fathers, grandparents, nannies, daycare workers, and other caretaking role, and we can form secure attachments in adulthood with mother figures, therapists, friends, and parents, thus reaping many of the benefits that bypassed us earlier. How do we become attached? And what is secure attachment? Attachment begins in the first relationship of life, the relationship with mother. The relationship begins early, even before birth, but it is certainly shaped by the first hours, weeks, and months of life. Excuse me, everyone. It can be heavily influenced. Excuse me, my sinuses don't want to let me be great. Don't want to let me be great. I keep sneezing. Okay, I'm going to get it together. Okay, it can be heavily influenced by the circumstances of birth, including the parent's readiness and desire to have a baby, the mother's mental and emotional state around birth, and birth procedures. Studies show that mothers who give birth by cesarean section take longer to attach to their babies. Even the level of mother's hormones have been found to have an effect, with higher levels of oxytocin support much attachment behaviors by mother. Many different ingredients contribute to the quality of attachment between mother and child. Attachment is built through attunement and caring. Okay, in the infant-mother relationship, it is spun largely out of the infant's needs, expressed in what are called attachment behaviors, and mother's responses to these needs. In fact, the mother's responses, their consistency and quality, are the key ingredient. Research indicates that attachment is created not just from meeting the immediate physical needs, which is the food, the place to stay, the roof over the head, okay, physical needs of the infant, but also from the quality of these interactions. The baby looks at mother, who is in turn looking at baby, and something passes between them, a smile, a mirroring movement, a synchronized dance, way below the level of consciousness. The most important caretaker behaviors associated with secure attachment are these. So I'm going to read the behaviors. Responding to the child's physical and emotional needs promptly, constantly, and in a tuned way. Responding to the child's attempts at closeness in a welcoming way. The mother must meet the child who is reaching for her, not turn away and provide only a cool reception. She must show that she wants closeness too. And that's what a lot of us are lacking. Okay. Tuning in to the child's emotional states and demonstrating empathy. Looking at the child with love. One researcher reports that this is the most critical element in developing the part of the brain responsible for social behavior. Now I'm going to skip to why is attachment so important? The attachment bond, which is the glue between the child and the attachment figure, is critical for so many areas of development. First, it very naturally affects self-esteem. Secure individuals learn to perceive themselves as strong and competent, valuable, lovable, and special thanks to being valued, loved, and viewed as special by caring attachment figures. They score higher on every measure of self-esteem. Second, the secure attachment gives us what is called a secure base, which means exactly what you might guess: the security needed to go into the world and explore it. When we don't feel this security, we're less ready to leave the nest or even look inside ourselves, and thus as hampered in our development. Author and therapist Susan Anderson describes how secure attachment allows for individual independence. And this is what she says. As a child, you needed to connect in order to move forward. As an infant, you depended on your mother to give the nurturance you needed, and your attention focused almost exclusively on that relationship. When you were a toddler, she became the background object as you began to develop and function more independently. If something interfered with the development, if mommy had to go to the hospital for a long stay, your ability to function independently may have been delayed. Anderson goes in to explain that when your need for attachment is thwarted, it becomes primary. When satisfied, it blends into the background. Both children and adults with secure attachment are hung up on getting other people to see, or aren't hung up on getting other people to see or support them, and can focus on meeting their own needs. Okay, so that's why sometimes we may go around and we need validation from other people. We need people to accept us. We need people to, motivate us. When you have that secure attachment as a child, as a baby, as a toddler, as a child, then your parent or since we're talking about mothers, instilled that in you. So you can walk around and navigate through this life without needing anyone's validation. And that is a key to being successful. Being successful, you need to move forward, even though everyone may second guess you. They may doubt you. They may not support your dreams. They may not support your goals. They may not think you can do it. They may not think it can even be done. But you continue to move forward, blocking out everything that people say and everything that people tell you with your goal in mind, because you know you are able to do whatever you set your mindset to. And that is what good mothering instills in you. Okay, how can you know if you are securely attached to your mother? This is important. You won't know precisely what your relationship with your mother was in your earliest years, but here are some important clues. Moments from your early relationship that were captured in memories. Your current feelings about your early relationships with your mother. Your patterns in relationships throughout life, and specifically your ability to form strong bonds with other. And I'm gonna pause on that and I'm gonna get into the rest of it. I realized recently that I would quickly cut off potential friends, family members for the smallest things. And the reason why is because of this. I did not have a secure attachment with my mother. So I guess something inside of me was like, when I see a red flag or something and all of this is in your head, and I start thinking that, you know what, this person is going to do something to me, or this person is going to hurt me, or this person is going to abandon me, or this person said something I didn't like, and then distance myself from them. That was because of not having a secure attachment with my mother. Okay, and like I mentioned in every video that I do, I'm not here to bash my mother. I use my mother as examples as to what I'm going through, how I'm navigating through it, and hopefully help and heal other people, because you will be surprised the amount of people that have dysfunctional relationships with their family members, and it's holding you back. It's stopping you from growing. It's stopping you from being successful, because you're carrying this baggage around with you. Okay, you don't feel good about yourself. You know, you have low self-esteem. All of this is affecting you and affecting your life. You know, so if you want a better life, you have to deal with the childhood trauma, and you have to instill the things that were not instilled in you by who was supposed to instill these things into you, and take control and fix it. Since this last item is complex, it will take some time to get a clear picture of it. First, let's explore every relationship with your mother. Do you have memories of close moments? Her holding you lovingly, smiling, and expressing affection? If so, do they seem like moments that were the exception or the rule? Do you have memories of going to your mother in times of need? What kinds of need? Is this representative of typical childhood needs? How do your mother respond? As far as you can remember, or checking in with your feeling response, were your attempts at closeness welcome? What descriptions have you heard about yourself as a baby and a small child? You may not be able to remember much about your early relationships, yet your feelings and impulses are often clues, leftovers from interactions with excuse me, I told y'all I'm tired, y'all, but I'm going to get through this. From interactions you can consciously recall. They have something to teach you. Listen if you can. What if you weren't securely attached? How would that look? Okay. Now I'm going to skip past that. Self-sufficient style. The largest of the insecure categories is a style that has been called by several names compulsively, self-sufficient, Bowlby, avoidant, Answorth, dismissive. Okay, that's what I was talking about earlier, dismissive, referring to a style in adult. I become more dismissive because of my lack of attachment to my mother. When the mother is constantly rejecting or non-responsive and emotionally unavailable, the child gives up, learns it is futile or dangerous in relationships to need, and constantly turns off his or her needs and attachment feelings. This, in essence, is what this style is about. More specifically, mothers of avoidant children have been found to reject the infant's needs for attachment and the behaviors the infant uses to try to get attachment, be uncomfortable or hostile towards signs of dependency, dislike affection, face-to-face contact, be more aversive to cuddly contact and physical contact, show less emotion. When mothers don't show enjoyment when holding their babies, babies eventually seem to turn off their more natural desire to be cuddled. When held, they tend to go limp like a sack of potatoes. These children have turned off wanting. Of course, you can't fully turn off wanting, you just disconnect from your awareness of it. Your wanting gets relegated to the unconsciousness, where it remains in a very primitive form and has sense of great urgency attached to it. Children in this situation perceive their parents don't want to deal with their needs and feelings and learn to conceal their emotions. The same child who goes limp like a sack of potatoes as an infant is the school-age child with one-word responses when mother asks about his day and who keeps mother at arm's length. Preoccupied style. Preoccupied style, a different expression of insecure attachment, consists of what we more traditionally think of as insecure behaviors such as clinging, needing assurance, and always wanting more closeness. The chief fear in this pattern is of the attachment figure leaving, what we might call fear of abandonment. Of course, a self-sufficient type fears abandonment too, but protects herself by not letting the relationship feel as important as it is. Unfortunately, the strategies used to secure the desired attachment often drive people away. By the time we reach adulthood, this includes heightened need for closeness, hypervigilance about attachment signals, always question and testing the other's commitment, emphasizing need and helplessness in order to get others to stay, punishing others for not providing what is desired, anger when attachment needs are not met. The caretaker style. Another pattern identified in the attachment theory is called compulsive caregiving. In this pattern, we deny your own needs and focus on the other person's. Okay, you help other people as a way to be close to them. It is associated with mothers who were not able to provide for their children but welcome their children's caretaking of them. Most modern attachment theorists don't include this style, and there is some evidence pairing a caretaker style in caretaker style in adulthood with a preoccupied style as a child, which makes intuitive sense since caretaking is one way to maintain connection. Another one, attachment style, is disorganized style. Some children fit a pattern that is called disorganized or disoriented attachment. Here, there isn't a consistent pattern. These children show behavior characteristics of one or more other attachment styles, alternating with moments of confusion and fear. This is the pattern found in the majority of children who are abused. Okay, of course, abusive parents aren't only abusive, sometimes they provide needed care, so they are both a source of fear and a source of reassurance, and this is understandably confusing. The behavior of the child is likewise inconsistent. Such a child may appear confused or apprehensive in the presence of the parent and even dazed at times. How can you know whether it's safe to go to mommy if sometimes she comforts you and other times she seems to spiral out of control and hits you? And why is it sometimes so spaced out? Neglectful and abusive parents are often untreated trauma victims. What is attachment-related trauma? A number of events related to attachment figures are traumatic for children. For a young child, being left alone is traumatic. A separation that is more than the child can handle is traumatic. Significant disruptions in the attachment relationship or loss of attachment figure is traumatic. Physical or sex abuse by An attachment figure is traumatic. Being abandoned as a child in times of urgent need is also traumatic and leads to attachment injuries. An example is telling a parent that another parent is abusing you and having the parent you tell not to believe you, or either ignore or minimize what you have said and not protect you. Remember, the relationships with attachment figures are where you're supposed to learn that the world is safe. Okay, I'm at 25 minutes. I don't want to make this video too long. I really suggest you all get the book and read it over for yourself if you had an emotionally unavailable or absent mother. Okay, now this might be an important chapter for all of you all who are wondering whether or not you should hold your mother responsible for the lack of caregiving that she gave, and feel guilty about distancing yourself from her. This may help, this section right here. Maybe you weren't securely attached to your mother, but is it really fair to hold her responsible? Although children come into the world with significant differences, there is considerable support for the notion that the caretaker's behavior is critical in forming secure attachment. Particularly telling is the fact that an infant may be securely attached to one parent and insecurely attached to another. When this is the case, the infant clearly has the capacity to attach, giving proper responsiveness. This is evidence that coaching mothers and helping them become more responsive to their children can alter their attachment pattern. In a short time, improvements in the mother's attuned responsiveness lead to increasingly secure attachment in their children. Holding mother responsible for our insecure attachment is not saying that she is somehow bad or even uncaring. There are many things that may be going on. For one, she may love her baby but feel frightened and repulsed by being needed. Unfortunately, this often leads to a vicious cycle because the more she withdraws or withholds her care, the more the baby signals his needs. And it is the signaling of need and the urgency behind it that may frighten the mother. Other contributors include being unskilled at readings of baby's signals, being preoccupied, overwhelmed, depressed, being insecure or overly sensitive to rejection, or having been under-mothered herself. If her mother was not able to graciously give to her attune to her needs, if her mother was too busy or too cold, then this is the pattern branded into her. So some of our mother's mother wasn't affectionate, wasn't open, wasn't caring, wasn't responsive, wasn't loving, wasn't, tending to your mother's need, and it trickled down to the next generation. So as far as me, that's what my mother told me. And once she told me that, she wasn't, my mother acted the same way as my grandmother acted the same way as she did towards her when she was younger, then I was more empathetic. I wanted to show mercy because I was carrying around this pain. I was carrying around this, I didn't feel like she wanted me. I was carrying around like this, did she like me? Did she just not want me? Feeling like I did something. And carrying this around for years. And at 40 years old, this information, or 40 something years old, this information came out to me that she was unmothered herself. So I couldn't really, yes, it hurts. Yes, you want that love and affection, but you have to say, well, you know what? If you're doing it to your child and you were unmothered, then when you want your child to show you some mercy, show you some grace, not be so hard on you, understand that we have flaws. We all have flaws. We all have things to work on. And that's why I mentioned on my last video, you may never get that affection. You may never get that mothering that you want from her. Okay, so you may just have to accept that and say to yourself that now maybe I have to look towards other people, or first heal myself, work on myself, mother myself, and then look for role models, no matter what age you are, that has that affectionate way about themselves, that are open to listen to what you're going through. And I did that at my age. I had a play mom, and when I was younger, and she was more of a mother to me in the sense of emotional needs being met and caregiving than my own mother, to be honest with you. And she helped me out in a lot of things. So sometimes if you're a person and you want that type of connection with someone, you might have to outsource it. You might have to go somewhere. You might have to join a group with some elderly women, or, make yourself available, meet groups with women. Maybe you need to do that so you can get that affection that you long for. Okay. Can you still develop? And speaking on that, we're getting to the next section, and it says, can you still develop secure attachments if you only partially done so in the past? How would this help you? Even if you have never had a secure attachment, it's never too late to develop one. There are many benefits to secure attachment. They include giving you an anchor in the world. Now, this is the reason why you should go out and find some type of mother figure or someone. Sometimes it could be, if you're married, your mother figure may be your husband's or whoever your spouse is mother. Okay, so there are many benefits to secure attachments. They include giving you an anchor in the world, a place where you are connected, supporting a more positive picture of people and more optimistic sense about your life, helping to build a sense of security that you keep with you, offering you a place to rest where you are not alone, but rather held by another, providing a platform of good feelings that strengthen self-esteem and self-confidence, making it more likely that you can reach out to others in the future with your needs, strengthening favorable neural pathways and stimulating brain development, improving your capacity to self-regulate. Now, if you don't know what self-regulate is, I'm going to go to page, because it gave a reference to page 28. Self-regulation. Learning to modulate or internal states our internal states are called self-regulation. It is something the nervous system, for the most part, controls, but it is learned initially by the mother, standing in for the development nervous system and by meeting the child's needs before he gets totally overwhelmed. Okay, that may be why some of you might have anxiety, you know. So identifying attachment figures. What is your attachment styles? And I'm almost to, I didn't read the whole entire chapter. I'm skipping through some things. Now, what is this? What is your attachment style? Now, this is important when it comes to your adulthood. What is your attachment style? Okay, from all of this, from the lack of having having an emotionally absent mother, not having a caring, affectionate mother, how has this affected you right now, today? And you could be style A. I often worry that romantic partners don't really love me or won't want to stay with me. I can get obsessed and act quite jealous at times, even in friendships. Sometimes my desire for closeness scares other people away. I don't understand when others appear to not see my needs. If they cared about me, they would not let me hurt like this. That's style A. Style B. I don't like to have to depend on others. It feels like a setup for being hurt. I would rather not show my vulnerability to others. In fact, I would rather not feel vulnerable. I am nervous when someone gets too close to me. Style C. I am comfortable depending on others and having them depend on me. I find it relatively easy to get close to people. I trust that others will be there most of the time when I need them. And style D. I get close to others by meeting their needs. I think that if I don't meet enough of their needs, they won't leave me. There doesn't seem to be room for both of our needs. If it wasn't already clear, A is the preoccupied style, B is the self-sufficient, C represents secure attachment, and D is compulsive caregiving. Since disorganized attachment is the absence of a clear style, it is much harder to self-identify using an instrument such as this. So, I think I'm going to end on that note. Can you have more than one style? Yes, I'm going to... Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to stop on that because I was thinking about reading this part. How difficult is it to change patterns? It is the easiest to change insecure attachment patterns as a child. I've mentioned that coaching mothers to be better attuned to their infants can have very rapid positive results. The longer a pattern is in place within a particular relationship, the harder it is to reverse. So that's why I say sometimes you have to just accept the fact that your mother was not mothering. She just wasn't mothering. And don't take that as you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you're not able, you're not smart, you're someone she didn't want. And for some people that may have some truth to that, I like to keep it honest, but accept her for who she is in order to heal yourself. Accept her flaws and all, in order to move forward in your own life. and drop these bags off at the baggage counter. I'm telling you, because I had to do it and I'm still in the process of doing it. Drop the bags off at the baggage counter, get your ticket and free yourself, and walk to the plane without dragging all this baggage. Yes, it's really deep, y'all. So now I'm going to do the reading part, and I'm up for it, on what you should do next, what Spirit is saying you should do next. It looks like I'm going into an hour again, so please subscribe so I can get to 1,000 subscribers, so I don't have to upload. I can go live. It's so much easier, makes life so much simpler. Yes. So I'm gonna quick read these cards real quick so I don't go past an hour. It's gonna take me a minute to upload. Spirit, please give me the information I should relay to the people who had a emotionally absent mother. What do they need to do at this point? Spirit, Spirit, come through. Spirit, let me know what they should do at this specific point of their life so they can heal, so they can move on, so they can become better people, so they won't allow their trauma and their hurt to affect the relationships that they're currently in. Speak to me. I thank you in advance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Donations, tithing, and charitable work. Okay. Some of you all out there need to donate, tithe, and do charitable work. Once you do that, you'll open up your receptors to receive the same thing in return. Some of you are afraid to give because you've been hurt in the past, you've been taken advantage of, someone has taken advantage of you. So now that you feel that you don't want to give to people because you've been hurt. Now, I believe that you can give to people even if you don't let them take advantage of you, okay? Don't let people use you, but understand that your blessings come from somewhere else. Your blessings don't come from man. Your blessings don't come from other people. When you do right, when you're not doing wrong to people, when you're not out here hurting people intentionally, okay, when you're not doing any of those things, blessings will come to you. When you're positive, when you're thinking positive, when you're being positive, when you're moving in a positive way, blessings will start to come to you. But you can't give, the universe or God or the creator or whoever you believe in can give to you because your hands are like this. You holding on. You're afraid that you're going to lose something. Your hands are like this. The card says, give joyfully to the organizations and people who spiritually support you and inspire you. See, be choosy about who you give to. You can give, but don't allow nobody to take advantage of you. And know that your generosity will be returned to you manyfold in miraculous ways. The time, supplies, money, and other resources you donate will ensure that your positivity multiplies. Clean energy food. Some of you all need to clean your energy. Clean your space, clean the people around you, Might have to leave a job. You might have to move out of state. You got to clean your energy, okay? Also, something about too much salt might be messing with your blood pressure. Too much sugar messing with your diabetes. Okay, get that checked out. And basically, clean your energy. When you fill your body with healthful organic diet, you increase your energy levels and ability to focus. This automatically leads to more efficiency, better ideas, and higher vibration. You need a higher vibration to start attracting things to you, okay, which attracts golden opportunities and beneficial relationships. Face your financial fears. You're afraid of losing out on money. You're afraid to look at the bills. You got to face it in order to change it. You got to start to be more financially responsible. Not look at what the Joneses are, what everybody... Look, it's an inflation. And this is just me now. It's an inflation. And, you know, yeah, you want to look fly. You want to look fresh. But look, if you don't have it right now, be conservative with your money. Spend it responsibly. Okay, if you start to get other streams of income, then splurge, you know, if you want to splurge, you know. But if you end up doing too much spending, too much splurging, too much wanting people to feel like you got it, then you may end up in a bad predicament, start losing more things. Be conservative with your money, especially in this time. Right now, things will get better. This won't last forever, but right now, be conservative with your money. When you're honest with yourself about fears of success and failure, they no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness. Okay, some of you fears may be the fear that you want to confront your mother, and you don't know how to confront her because she's going to either brush you off or act as if you're not important, you know. But my thing is, sometimes you just have to get it off your chest. No matter how they respond, sometimes you have to get it. It's about freeing yourself. Sometimes you have to get it off of your chest. And they'll realize that you, in fact, have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. Let me shuffle them up a little bit more. Let me shuffle. Moonlighting. Moonlighting. Some of you all out there are moonlighting. And moonlighting means, to me, what I'm getting, doing strange things after hours so you can make ends meet. You know, I'm not one to judge, you know, but this is from your childhood trauma, and you get an instant connection. You connect, you keep it turned off, but you feel a connection when you're doing that type of work, trying to fill a void that is inside of you because of your absent mother. You're trying to fill, or your absent parents, might be both parents. You're trying to fill a void. So when I say strange, you might be night workers, intimate workers, street walkers. You get the drift. And you do this because of the pain. You do it for money, but mostly as for the pain that you've been through as well. But this says, the card says, You can start working on your dream career. You don't really want to do that type of work. You can start working on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay bills. Soon your dream career will take flight and fully support you. So you can hang up the stilettos and try to do something different, because your dream career, start working your way out of that, doing something different, because your dream career is right around the corner, what you want to do. But first you got to build your self-esteem, build your confidence, replace all that what was taken from you. Accept your mother as she is, whether she's alive or crossed over to the other realm. Accept her for who she is and start to heal and work on yourself. Uh-oh, somebody getting some money. Successful funding. Okay, somebody looks like they're getting some money. Okay, and since this is the last card, I don't think I'm going really in depth on this one. Somebody get some money. Okay, now I'm going to take this from the book. Successful funding, because it has something to do with money, and we all want to know what's going on with money. So, successful funding. This card signals that your project will be successfully funded and your hard work is being rewarded. When it comes to this card, when it comes to you, it is a sign that your ideas is divinely inspired. It will help many people once it materializes into form, and the angels will be with you each step of the way. In many cases, this card guides you to connect with a crowdfunding website. So connect with a crowdfunding website to gain financial support, connections, and confidence to pursue your ideas and inventions. An internet search for crowdfunding will lead you to various options. Take some time to read about crowdfunding campaigns to familiarize yourself with the process. You'll need to have the courage to post your pitch and then spread the word to others. There's also a message for you to be extra organized with your paperwork during the funding process. Take your time before signing contracts and work with trusted professionals such as an attorney or an accountant if you're more of an artist than a business person. Now, the card reads, your idea is divinely guided and supported by the same infinite wisdom of God that gave you the idea. Do not allow money concerns to prevent you from turning it into reality. Crowdfunding, partnerships, and other investments are available to help you. Okay, and this is, I'm going to pull from my affirmations deck, and we're going to wrap it up. I really enjoyed myself. I hope the information helped you. That's what about the crowdfunding. Not the this has to do with the crowdfunding. Nothing worth having comes easy. You have to work for it. You have to go out there. You have to meet people. You have to do your research, and you'll come across what you need to get the funds and the money you need so your project can take off. Nothing worth having comes easy. And I'm going to end on that note. Took us into an hour. I hope this really helped. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is a journey, y'all. This is not a race. This is a marathon. We're going to go through the next book. I'm going to go through You Can't Hurt Me, because I felt by David Goggins. I'm going to purchase the book. I'm going to read through it, not to its entirety. No. Pull out important bits and pieces that I think would help you. And I think it's a great book. It's about a Navy SEAL who went through his obstacles and trials in life. He was overweight. He didn't feel good about himself. He grew up a person who looks like me in a town that didn't look like him. He was bullied a lot, and he overcame a lot of that stuff. He ran races. He just did a lot of phenomenal things. So I think after this book, dealing with the childhood trauma, we're going to get into the meat of things, which is strengthening your mindset so you can handle anything anybody throws your way. And that's all I have to say. Did I just rhyme? That's all I have to say for this video. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please share. And I will see you all on the next one.